Ride and Listen, episode 11. You gotta keep going, man. Gotta keep going. Special edition just dropped, right? Talking about recharge. Once you recharge, you gotta keep going, right? That's the constant. Life moves forward, doesn't go backwards. You gotta constantly evolve, keep going, growing, showing, recharge, do it all over again, right? For those that haven't joined us before, go back to episode 1 because we got a whole series going right here. The audio messages I recorded on my senior year while becoming an All-American, while I knew I was going to have the best season of my life, my last season. Right, and I manifested it with these thoughts, with these actions I talk about in these files. Right, you got to keep going, man. You got to show up every day and keep going. Coach Red, Undiscovered Prospects, where you discover yourself so the world can discover you.
Yo, March 31st, 2023. It's Friday, 1:56 p.m. Topic on the day, right? It's the idea of like keep going, right? Just to keep on going. Now, the thing about this topic, right, is most people automatically are gonna be like, "Oh, you gotta take a break. You got to." Sometimes you got to take a step back and you got to reevaluate. You're right. But I'm speaking from the perspective, right? Because, like I say, I'm speaking from my perspective because that's all I know. When you know where you're going, taking a step back, taking a break, that's not the right way to go about it. When you know where you're going, you have to. It's like a phone, right? You need a phone to, and this is my analogy, right? This is an analogy I got from an individual, 19 Keys, thinks on a very high level, and he said this in a podcast. I know where I'm going, right? Or I have this vision, I have this direction, and it's like a phone in the sense that I have a battery, right? If I get on E, I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna know I'm on E. But the point about it is to never operate on that low battery mode. Don't let yourself get drained to that low battery mode, right? Don't drain yourself and wait for that notification to pop up that you got 20% left. You gotta consistently charge yourself, recharge yourself with things that give you energy, right? The concept of like doing little things throughout the day to reinsert life into you. Whether that's listening to music, certain type of music, whether that's working out every day, whether that's meditating every day, whether that's eating clean all the time, and diet you can get into deep. That's a whole other topic. But it's this idea of consistently hitting these recharge points. And sometimes there is a moment, there is a time where you can get to that 20% low battery mode, and you really got to sit back and fully recharge yourself. And that might take a day or two, it might take a week. But it's just being in that mindset of understanding, yo, I need to keep recharging. Like in between tasks, I need to find that thing that can recharge me. Find that outlet, that person that you see that gives you life. You might see them once a week, but the conversation you have with them gives you energy to last that whole week. And it's not recharging yourself is not overstimulation, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm just gonna chill and like scroll through TikTok, or I'm just gonna chill and play the game or whatever. That's still stimulation. That's not chilling. That's overstimulation. You're stimulated. Your battery's on low, and now your idea of relaxing or chilling is further stimulating not your physical but your mental by scrolling and scrolling, playing the game, mentally draining, going to hang out with people that mentally drain you, right? So you got this idea, keep going, right? And recharging, recharge, keep going, recharge, keep going, but it's always forward. Life is not a stagnant thing. Human beings are meant to be ebbing and flowing, growing and showing. Sometimes taking a step back, but that's just to take two more forward. Sometimes, I just said it's not taking a step back, but sometimes I don't like step back. I like the idea that you got to go through stuff to get places. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta feel the pain to know the happiness. You gotta go through the bottom to feel the top. It's not taking a step back. It's just realizing where you're at, how far you've come, where you're going. Some days you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna feel the greatest. You're gonna have things working against you. You're gonna wake up to texts you don't want to see. You're gonna wake up to things aching that you don't want to. You wish they weren't aching. You're gonna wake up and the weather's gonna be gloomy, but it's beautiful. Life is full of endless opportunities. But now, what I want to wrap up on this one, right, is the idea of, again, what 19 Keys, someone I've been really tapped into. What he says is positive past reflection, right? It's looking back on yourself and remember the good moments, but then also like looking back and realizing how far you've come, right? Speaking for myself, right? The position I'm in today, right? March 31st, 2023, 2:03 p.m. If the version of me last year would know, if March 31st, 2022 at this time knew how far I'd go in a year, he'd be like excited, ecstatic. He'd be like, "Whoa, we doing that now? Wait, how'd you get there?" You go back 5 years, they'd be like, "Whoa, what? You doing all that? You got boys like that? You doing what you doing? You about to graduate, man? You still playing baseball? What?" That version would be so like, wow. But then in the moment, sometimes you just forget like how far you've come, and you still just kind of beat on yourself. But sometimes you gotta reflect and be like, man, we've done come so far. And the thing about it is we got so much further to go. But the beauty in it is like we can see the progress physically. You can feel it internally, mentally, and spiritually. You can like watch a video, right? There's like old videos out there. I'm sure everyone's got Snapchat memories. Something will pop up from like 6 years ago, and you'd be like, wow. Like, just didn't know the world. Just didn't know a lot of things yet. Like, I still don't know a lot, but I didn't know a lot back then. But now I know more than I did then. It's just like you grow and you learn, and then you go through similar situations, right? Like you go through situations where you remember when you were younger, you would have done. you would have done you would have responded to that a certain way, but now you just don't respond like that, and you grew, and you can look at it and be like, man, that is just like, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, I'm so proud of you. You come so far, and it wasn't by accident. It's because you wanted to put the work in. You wanted to become better, so you worked on it. You did. And actually, there's one more thing I want to touch on right quick, right? A lot of people, right, back to this authenticity thing. We talked about it here and there, talked about it a little bit, but the idea of authenticity, right? When you know what you desire and you know where you're going, and you're being who you must be to become that person, and your thought and your word and your emotion is all in line, you don't have to say what you're doing. You don't have to ask for permission to do certain things. You can just navigate. Be the navigator, be the director. And all you have to just keep learning and doing, repeating, maintaining, obtaining, is just being super present in where you're going, where you're at, what you want. With, again, lining up what you think, what you say, and what you feel. And you can get there. You can get there, I promise you, if you're just patient and you're persistent. Not over persistent, but consistent. Be who you want to be right now. And ask that future person, that future you, ask, what are you what are you doing in this situation? Talk to yourself in your head, what are you doing in this situation? I'm 22, I'm asking the 32-year-old version of myself, yo, what are you doing in this situation right here? And then think about it. This version of me. This version of me is 32. He's got this and that. He thinks like this. He articulates his thought like this. And then you just feel it. In that moment, the 32-year-old version of me is doing this, X, Y, and Z. And then you can take that. You can take that information, use it on your 22-year-old version of you. Or for me, you know. That's how you become. It's not just saying it. Thought, the word, the feeling, it's all in a line. And when it's all in a line, you are the navigator. You are the director. You are digging the canal with everything that is meant to flow will flow behind as you continue to trudge your way through the path you are digging. It's a beautiful life, man. Surrounded by love, surrounded by gratitude. It's a rainy day, but like, man, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful day. You still hear the birds chirping. They still going. It's a beautiful day. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Peace.